AMD has recently seen a lot of success in their GPUs, especially at the lower to mid-high range in the GPUs. With their recent introduction of technology such as FSR4 and RDNA 4, they've been able to close the gap on a lot of GPU capabilities on the Nvidia cards. However, a lot of people were hoping that when AMD released their 9000 series cards, that they were going to go after Nvidia at the high-end market, going after the 5090 card. But that did not come to fruition, as it only released a 9070 XC that was pretty much on par with the 4080. However, there are rumors circulating out there that AMD may be ready to go after Nvidia in the high-end market. So in this video, guys, we're going to cover all the information about the latest rumors about AMD trying to go after Nvidia. But before we dive deep into all the information, if you're new to this channel and enjoy staying up to date with the latest tech news, you landed at the right place. Do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. All right, let's dive into this information. AMD Radeon RX 10090 XT, a game changer to challenge Nvidia's RTX 6090. Now, this is an article out of PC Games SM. So again, as I said in my introduction, a lot of people were hoping that AMD would try to battle Nvidia. I mean, especially in the last couple of generations, they just haven't been able to produce those cards. They seem to kind of bow out from that and just leaving that arena to Nvidia. But it looks like that they may be changing course and are going to go after Nvidia in that high-end market. So let's take a look at this article here. Now, if this leak is to be true, then AMD is cooking up an absolutely killer graphics card with a massive 36 gigabytes of GDR7 VRAM and 154 compute units, making it massively more powerful than the acclaimed Radeon RX 9070 XC, which only has 164 compute units. So that's basically over 2.5 times more power in terms of compute units than what the 9070 has. So that is going to be a massive improvement for AMD. RDNA 4 sees the company catching up with Nvidia in many areas, including decent AI-based upscaling and ray tracing performance. However, AMD currently has nothing to challenge the RTX 5090. Yes, nothing they have will challenge the 5090. They didn't have anything that could challenge the 4090 as well in the last generation. So maybe the next generation, this card, if it is to be true, will challenge that. The latest rumors comes from the regular tech leaker, Moore's Law is dead. So take it with a grain of salt, especially as the launch of these new GPUs is likely to be years away. However, Moore's Law is dead claims to have seen several documents and spoken to multiple AMD sources to back up this leak. So again, Moore's Law is pretty credible. A lot of his information does come true. So again, you still take it with a grain of salt, but looks like that information will probably have some credibility to it, basically coming from him. So the top end new GPU is in the leaked product stack is codenamed AT0 according to Moore's Law is dead, and will mainly be used for AI application where graphics cards will have a super wide 512-bit bus like the RTX 5090, as well as a PCIe 6.0 support and 184 compute units. Now that's a super high end. However, there's also a single desktop gaming GPU listed in the AT0 section of the table. You can see here in this table here, it's kind of hard to read with all the watermarking that he's put on there. It's not great quality, but this one row right here with the red desktop gaming, again, this will be linked down in the article below, as you can go and take a look at this table if you want to dive into it a little bit more. But continuing on here, this new gaming GPU, which Moore's Law is there speculates could be called the AMD Radeon RX 10090 XC. Now that is a mouthful, so that may not actually be the name when it comes up. They may shorten it to something a little bit more easier on the tongue, but that's probably a couple years from now. It will reportedly cut down the compute units to 154 and the memory bus down to 384 bits, while cutting costs by using the PCI 5.0 interface. However, the GPU could also come equipped with a massive 36 gigabytes of 36 gigabytes. That's the speed of the GDR7 VRAM. So we're talking a massive improvement from them. So the current powerhouse is the RTX 5090, which has 32 gigabytes of 28 gigabytes per second memory. So that would be a massive boost. So it will definitely surpass the 5090. The only question that I would have is, would it be able to pass the 6090, which we know Nvidia is going to be coming with? So so that is exactly the card that they're going to be going after, according to the documents here, that they're going to be trying to tackle the 6090. But again, seeing as how the 5090 today has 32 gigabytes, I would definitely expect the 6090 to actually go above. It will probably have more than 36 gigabytes RAM, maybe 40, 44, 48 range. I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point, but I don't expect Nvidia to let AMD come and top them in that area. So it'll be interesting to see when those cards come out, you know, who's going to be, which one of those cards is going to have the most RAM. And I'm almost positive that it will be Nvidia, but it's exciting to see AMD trying to compete. Moore's Law says that the GPU range will be fleshed out for mid-range and budget GPUs too, with the new AT2 chip apparently being the equivalent of the Navi 48 chip used in the Radeon RX 9070. The new GPUs will reportedly be manufactured using TSMC's cutting-edge 3nm process, enabling AMD to pack so many compute units into one die, while also reducing the power draw. So that's going to be huge for them, giving you more power with using less power, less energy on your CPUs and on your build as well. So this is very interesting, very exciting to see that AMD is looking to compete with Nvidia. And I think that's something that a lot of us out there have been looking for, is somebody to push Nvidia in that higher end range, because we've seen for the last few generations, nobody's able to compete with Nvidia with their 4090s and 5090s cards. But maybe the 6090 will have some competition from AMD. So in a couple of years, hopefully, we will see that come to fruition. So let me know what you guys think about this down below. Do you think this is going to come to fruition? And do you think these specs are good enough to compete with Nvidia? If not, what do you want to actually see from AMD? And be realistic. We're not talking about a 60 gigabyte memory card, but something very realistic that we can get our hands on. So go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Once again, thank you guys for taking time out to watch this video. Again, if you enjoy this type of content, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that like button. And chances are, if you enjoy this type of content, you may have friends or family that enjoy this, so make sure you share this with them. Also, if you want to stay up to date with the latest tech news, head over to SoundTherapy.com, where I curate and aggregate tech news from around the web, covering Apple, Samsung, Google, Android, computing, and even more general tech news, all at the website SoundTherapy.com. And for even more tech news in video form, check out one of these two videos right here. Until next video, guys, stay nerdy.